driving near Hanover Road. Mom is driving near North Main Street.
Alright, we're going to be on in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I think Luca's coming over.
I once got, you in? I once got, and when I was doing this for local TV, I once got the, oh shoot. Twins, the Olsen twins. I once got the Olsen twins into a volleyball commentary. Because that was one of my words. And I was like, boy, I tell you, it was the boys match. I'm like, boy, I tell you. Momentum, it just seems like it's just flipped like a New York minute. And I went, hey, wait, isn't that the Olsen twins' new movie? The guy I was working with he literally just started laughing so hard.
That's probably
he
what
couldn't
I'm
even
gonna
talk. He couldn't talk for like 30 seconds, so I just kept talking about the match. And then the guys out so when we were doing this for TV, there'd be guys out in a truck. They would then, at the end of it, they'd go, okay, here's what we think your words were for today. Because they knew I was going to do it, but they didn't know the words. Contraband. Shirley Temple. That is, you talk about. Ugh.
Elena literally is like a spitting image of Kaylin.
She what?
She's
she is.
spitting image.
Although she has better wrist snap.
When she swings?
Yeah. Kaylin has a tendency to finish here, whereas she's already snapping when she comes through. I think because she's been playing since she was so small.
Yeah.
The only way to keep the ball in was to snap her wrist hard.
She's tiny. She's tinier than Kaylin.
Yeah. I'm ready whenever you are. All right, cool. Do I need to inch in a little bit?
Ball moves fast.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Spring Grove Live. Today's version would be the junior high volleyball tournament. Excuse me, not tournament, match. Hello, my name is Tom Hunt. I am a math teacher and a volleyball coach here at Spring Grove. I will be working today with Riley Zedek. Riley is a volleyball player here at the school and a junior and one of my prime Intro to Stats students. Good afternoon, Riley. How are we doing?
Good afternoon. I'm excited to be a part of this today.
So this is the first time you've ever done like an announcing thing like this, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, I'll walk you through it. I've done, I was doing these when you were probably not even in school yet. So today the Rockets will be taking on Kennard-dale, and we are going to be, if I'm not mistaken, we're going to be jumping right into the match. So Kennard-dale comes in with a record, we believe, with the best we can do our detective work, is 2-7, and Spring Grove is 10-0. Now, the last time Spring Grove went undefeated in junior high, Riley was a member, were you not?
I was. I sat the bench all year due to an injury, but I was still there every game.
Part of the team, that's all that matters. So what we'll do, the best we can is get the names out to everyone, and we'll get the starters in. We do only have one official. That'll be Scott Whitmer, and we do have, I think this spring's been a little bit low on officials. So he'll be working the match by himself, but we do have a couple lines people. All right, so let's grab the best we can, the starters here. So I'll get Kennard-dale while she gets Spring Grove set up. So it looks like Sienna Haynes, an 8th grader, will be starting for Kennard-dale, as well as May Schreiber, Tristan Fonts, Ariana Wilson, and I think I have missing, I can't see. Okay, there's 2. Madeline Argaro, and I think that's 6 of them. Okay, Riley, who do you have start for Spring Grove?
Starting from Spring Grove up front in the middle, number 31, we have Hannah Baldoff, an 8th grader. Over here on the outside, we have number 17, Kendall McLaughlin. Back setting right now is Elena Ziegler, number 20. She is actually a 7th grader. Down right now, we have Aubrey Ziegler in the back, right next to her sister. She is number 19. In the back row, as a middle, we have number 27, that is Savannah Bosley. And over here on the left in the back, we have number 9, and that is...
Is it 9 or is it 7?
I believe it is 9.
All right, the first serve by Kennard-dale is received. There's a roll shot. Yeah, that is a number 9, isn't it?
Yep.
And
I believe her name is Riley Whitridge. I just believe the jersey
yeah, I
numbers
believe
are
there
wrong.
is a wrong number there. Now we have a substitution on the right side for Spring Grove, 14 coming in. That is
McKenna McBride.
okay. McKenna on the front. It is 1-0 Spring Grove, having gotten the side out, and Aubrey Ziegler is back to serve for the Rockets. Good ball down the middle, and a little bit too hot to handle for number 23, and that's 2-0. I think Spring Grove's one of their strengths is serving, and you know how important that is in a game like this, isn't it? Another good serve. So if you haven't seen a lot of junior high volleyball, what you're going to see is a lot of good if you have a good serving team, you're not going to see a lot of long rallies because it's really hard. It's one of the harder things to do in sport is to receive a serve. Would you not say that, Riley?
I would. Being at multiple games with my little sister being on the team, they are a very strong serving team. Most of our games have gone pretty fast for that exact reason.
And there we got the kill from McKenna. And yes, you did hear that correctly. She does have a little sister here, so I'll make sure she doesn't do too much cheering for her when she's in the game. So Aubrey has now gotten 3 in a row, so it's now 4-0 Spring Grove. Kennard-dale keeping the ball alive, and unfortunately, ball goes into the net, and we are at Spring Grove with a 5-0 lead. Probably doesn't help you got to travel all the way from Kennard-dale to come play here either. That's a long bus ride. So when you get a lead like this, what's the hardest thing for you as a player if you have a good server on? What do you have to do to kind of keep yourself in the game?
I talk to myself a lot on the court and just kind of tell myself to settle in and calm down. Obviously, getting frustrated at a moment like this isn't really what's best. So telling myself to calm down, I'm able to focus in and play the ball.
And there's another ace by Aubrey, or as we like to call her, Aubs, because I'm lazy and I don't like to do many full names if I can avoid it. It's a good second touch, but again, hot server on the line, and it is very difficult, and we have a timeout. So, Riley, timeout at 8-0. How are you thinking if you are in Spring Grove right now? What are you telling your kids?
Keep up the good work to Aubrey as a server, but also girls be ready for the ball to come right back over, being as the passing on the Kennard-dale side has been getting the ball up, just kind of getting second touches on it, so the ball could come over at any time. Just kind of being ready no matter where you're at on the court.
That's pretty much all you can say at this point, right? Spring Grove with an 8-0 lead, and it is a hard thing to do, is it not? When you have and you just played this weekend, when you have some really good servers coming at you, it's a difficult skill to master, isn't it? Passing the serve.
100%. There are girls out here that come out with a top spin serve, and just like I did this weekend, it took me a couple of them to actually absorb the ball and be able to pass it up. But once you focus in, you're able to pass.
So Albus goes back. That's a good pass, good set, and ball's over. So the set goes to the middle. Another good dig. All right, Kennard-dale keeping the ball alive. Spring Grove looking to score here. And we have a hitting error to end the route, end the streak. So Kennard-dale will rotate, trailing 1-8. Good solid serve. McKenna with a good swing.
Strong attempt from number 23, trying to get the ball back over. Just a little too short for it.
And now we have a substitution in. I believe you you probably know this person.
Number 11, Avery Zedek. My little sister coming back in to serve.
And yes, it is. She does beat her up to make sure she's doing things right. I'm sure she'll sit her down for a good half an hour talk here after the match. Good solid serve right off the bat. Again, a hard thing, and a little bit of it is just getting your kids to be aggressive, isn't it? When you're first starting out like this, just moving your feet and being aggressive to the ball.
That was the biggest thing that my sister had struggled with in the beginning, was staying aggressive, and now she serves as hard as she can, basically every ball. Stays aggressive, comes right in, ready to pass. And you see a lot of the girls on the team doing that.
And that's another good serve to put Spring Grove up 11-1.
A little bit of a spin on the ball when she's serving it.
A little bit on there. Looks like maybe she's letting her wrist go a little. You always have to be careful with that. It seems like Kennard-dale, if they get a first ball up, they're in pretty good shape. It's just getting that initial ball. I think they're gonna see right there, exactly what I just said. And I think that should should be 4 there. Okay, or out of bounds. All right. Yep.
Number 26 on Kennard-dale's side seems to be doing really well with defense. She's going for everything and getting the ball up.
And we have number 14, Addison Argero, coming in. And we have, I'm assuming, a sister or cousin, Madeline, serving. But ball drops on Kennard-dale's side. And it is now Spring Grove 13-2. And we have coming in is Jocelyn Tome to be a server and possibly a setter. Liz Ziegler will run 2 setters, her youngest, Elena, as you've already said, and then also Jocelyn. So has Spring Grove missed any serves yet?
No.
I think that's a key part to being successful at this level. If you can force the other team to play every ball, it is very difficult. And that makes it 15-2 for Spring Grove. Okay, another good serve by Jocelyn. Ball is over, so good movement by Spring Grove to keep it alive. And there goes the 7th grader with the good swing. And I'm gonna say she's probably been playing volleyball almost as long as she could walk, because it was one of those. Oldest sister, Kaylin, now in college, was a player, and she just kept going. And mom, obviously, as a coach, she's been around the sport for a long time. Oh, go, go, go! That's a good first touch to get it into the net. The other Kennard-dale players need to be ready to snag that. So Jocelyn now up 17-2. Good hustle by 26 over there, Haley Ceruto, but just too far out of her grasp, And now 18-2. Jocelyn looking to keep the run going. Nice steady serve. Now on that one, it hit the antenna. The antenna is considered out of bounds, so that was another point for Spring Grove as they extend the lead to 19-2. Good pass, good set. And 19, that's a really good attack by May Schreiber there to get Kennard-dale a point and side out. And we have coming in now for Spring Grove, who just came in, number 4. Who's that?
That is Riley Whitridge.
That's where, okay. And then Sienna Haynes is coming in for Kennard-dale on the left side. Serve is over. Savannah Bosley with the pass, and it's a long swing, aggressive, but she got underneath the ball. And that's Kennard-dale now, their 4th point. Score is now 4-19. That was Gabrielle Hutchinson serving the ball there. And just short on that. Good hustle there. And on Kennard-dale's side on the left, we have 13 coming in, and that's going to be Lillian Jacka. And on the right, Spring Grove, who was that? That's 9 coming in?
That is one of the numbers that we believe is messed up, but I want to say that it's Madison Evers.
I think she might be a 7th grader. I just can't remember. It's been a while since I was in to help with this team. I think she's a 7th grader.
Jenna Van Buren, number 2.
Jenna Van Buren
is her normal jersey number. She is a 7th grader.
Okay, I thought it was a 7th grader because I knew there was another 7th grader other than Lainey Ziegler there. So Spring Grove now up 22-4.
Good topspin serve.
Yep. Good track down there. Good touch.
That's a great hustle.
That's good hustle there by Kennard-dale, especially Lillian Jacka getting a second touch on that and giving her teammate Madeline Argaro a chance to actually take the ball over. So. And we are now at game point for Spring Grove. Yep, I just heard somebody yell one more Jenna, so we are correct that is Jenna Van Buren. We will be yelling at Coach Liz Ziegler for not letting us know what number that was. So 15 brings the ball over there. That would be Haynes. And then we have a net violation on Spring Grove. And Kennard-dale now coming back with number 7, Trista Fonts. Coming in for 21, Miranda Jermack. Serving is May Schreiber. Little short serve right in front of Van Buren, and that scores it for Kennard-dale, making the score 6-24. Another short serve. I think we have I think a couple of Spring Grove kids aren't sure where they're supposed to be. And there's a really good block over pass by Savannah Bosley as we make the score 25-6 for the first game. A tough one for the visitors, but as we've been saying, when you get good servers like that, it's really difficult to do. So, what other sports did you play before you played volleyball?
I did soccer for a week, and then I thought it was too much running.
A week?
I thought it was too much running. That's clearly why I'm playing volleyball. Not much running to do. If I'm running, I'm sprinting to get a ball. I did ballet, dance, obviously, when I was younger, just like every other girl. I did gymnastics, but gymnastics and ballet both. I quit whenever they moved me up without my friends because I was just a little social butterfly.
Is that what got you into volleyball then, being the social butterfly like Shirley Temple was when she was a baby?
My mom played volleyball when she was younger, and my family has always played. And as I started to get older, I started to realize that was something I'd want to follow them in. And then that just kind of worked my butt off to get to where I am now with it.
It is a difficult sport when you think about the thing that I try to get people to understand is there's no sport that you play where you use your forearms to deflect a ball.
Yeah.
There's nothing like until you've done it and tried to do it consistently, it is difficult. That's why you'll see teams like Kennard-dale here, like when they get the ball up, they're very competitive. The problem is just getting that first pass. And as you said, you see topspin servers, you see all kinds of different servers. That is really the skill that I think separates the best teams from your average or below average, especially boys.
Number 26 has done a really good job on Kennard-dale's side of getting the ball up in the air, no matter what kind of serve is coming over.
That'd
but
be
you've
Haley Ceruto, yep.
Notice from other girls they're not getting stopped when they're passing, and they're kind of running through, causing it to shank off their arms or fly back over the net. So
Something you've been told, I'm sure, 1,000 times. Stop your feet when you're passing.
all the time. Still to this day as a 17-year-old.
Oh, and folks, we just had our first sighting of one of the best game managers in all of York County, Eric Ziegler. He hustled out there to pick up something off the floor. I'm not sure what it was, but he was moving very much like the Mars rover does when it's flying down the dunes. So we have, looks like the same starters for Kennard-dale. We got, maybe not. I think we have Reese Moser in now. We have May Schreiber, Sienna Haynes. No, I'm sorry, it's Autumn Maynor. That's the one. 7, Trista Fons, and 2, Madeline Argaro. Jeez,
Argaro.
why can I not get that? And then Lillian Jacka is also in there. So Spring Grove, I think we have the same starters.
I believe so.
Yeah, we Spring Grove will mess around a little bit within the second game sometimes to try to get different people playing different positions. And Spring Grove with the first serve. We have Lainey Ziegler back and serves the ball in the net. And that would be a fine if she was on my team, which she happens to be. But just kidding, I wouldn't fine her. But that's one of the things that we try to teach our kids early on is never serve in the net because the other team doesn't have to do anything, right? They just rotate.
Serving's one of the only things in volleyball that you can control by yourself. So it's something that I've really focused on. Actually, Mr. Hunt here is the reason that I serve the way that I do this day.
Took
me a
it
while,
took us a while, but
it
did work out, didn't it? So, good tip there by Argaro. And then, unfortunately, now, a net violation like that, some people might get upset. For me, that's an aggressive mistake. That's going after and trying to block the ball. So, I'm okay with that as a coach. On the Kennard-dale side, we now have a substitution. That will be Riley Cunningham coming in for Sienna Haynes. Now we have Aubrey Ziegler in, and that's a ace for Aubrey. She's the one that got the ball rolling for Spring Grove in the last game. Now that's what we call a seam serve. When you can hit the ball between two passers, it forces them to communicate. And as you're likely to say, communication is one of the really important things that young kids don't do enough of. Would you not?
One of the easiest life skills that I think anyone can have, but once you hit the court, it's kind of different. It seems like everybody kind of forgets how to talk.
Kind of odd, right? Like everybody knows how to talk, but once you get into a game, you don't talk. So it seems a little bit weird. So, okay, on the left side, we have coming in for Kennard-dale to serve, 21, Miranda Jermack. And then we have
number 11, Avery Zedek, coming in for number 19, Aubrey Ziegler.
And I think we were going to have a substitution for Hannah Baldorf, but I don't. Now the question is that going to? Yep, now it's coming. So now we have Savannah Bosley coming in for her. And yes, we do have another defensive specialist, Felicity Davis, coming in. She will be our server as Spring Grove is up 4-2. Good, easy float serve there. Oh, it's a great touch by Madeline Argaro. I'm going to have that name down by the end of this. I know I am. She's getting, Felicity's getting a little bit under the ball, but it's just dropping right over, so it's a little bit harder to pick up. Good pass. Unfortunately, setter called for help and didn't quite get the attention of Jacka fast enough. Spring Grove now up 6-2. There's a little more oomph. See, there's that first contact. Oh, go. Good first contact by Kennard-dale. That's one that they've been bringing over, so I'm kind of surprised it didn't come back Spring Grove's way.
Miscommunication from the back row with the front row on that one. Great spot.
Just dropped that right where nobody was standing. That makes it 8-2.
Times like these, when Spring Grove seems to be up, Coach Ziegler will tend to mess with our lineup, put people in spots that they might not normally play to just try and see what they can do in other places.
Good mental test, isn't it? When you have to play something you're not used to playing.
It's what I do for the high school team.
That would be, she's all over the place playing whatever position is needed, and you need people like that to be successful for sure. And we were pretty successful this past fall. Another ace serve, making it 10-2. Another oh, okay. That's three. I think 3 servers in a row that were in the net, I believe. So even though you might be up 10-3, you still want your kids to execute. And Spring Grove's not serving well. So Madeline Argaro is in with the serve. Good serve. Pushed over by Bosley. 13 takes a big swing. It's a big swing out of Jacka. And there's Van Buren and falls in front of the Kennard-dale defender for a point. And I think, I think we're not sure who our server is going to be. Oh. So it will be Wiley Whitridge.
You'll see Riley in the front row less aggressive than when she's in the back row. She tends to pass the ball over the net. But I've seen her swing, and she can swing. So I think Coach Liz is really working on her, trying to be more aggressive up there at the net.
Yeah, she's definitely getting a much deeper serve than I remember her at the beginning of the year. So she's gotten better. Okay, Kennard-dale, good first contact. Now, that would be a setter dump from Elena Ziegler. It would not be a great one because she stayed on the ground. If you're going to dump, you want to jump and get up there, and that's something we've been working on. Yes, I do coach Elena and Aubrey in club volleyball, so I'm around them a lot. Kennard-dale keeps the ball alive, but passes it out of bounds. It is now 14-3 Spring Grove. Slightly short serve. Good first contact. They've been very consistent. Yeah, good communication. They've been consistent keeping the ball up when they get that first contact. And that was a good swing by McKenna McBride. You will see that Spring Grove likes to hit the ball. There's no doubt. Kind of like the varsity team. You guys like to hit the ball. But then again, how many teams have you ever seen that don't like to hit the ball?
Exactly.
So we have a serve out there by Whitridge, but now we have Tome coming in to set for Spring Grove. And then on the left side for the Rams, we have Sienna Haynes coming in for Riley Cunningham. She'll be in the front. And we have serving now is Lillian Jacka. Good deep serve. Felicity Davis with the good pass, keeping the ball alive. And there's the little Zedek keeping in game. Big sister smiling. All right. Nice easy ball up. That's a really good second ball.
Kennard-dale has a lot of communication going right now.
Yep. You can tell they're definitely giving it a good effort. And we have a substitution on the right. We have Aubrey Ziegler coming in for Little Zedek, and then on the left side, we have Gabriella Hutchinson coming back in the back row for Lillian Jacka. Serving now is McKenna McBride. She definitely has a hard, flat floater, so you want to get her off the line as quickly as you can. That point makes it 17-4. That was one of the deeper ones we've had. Again, Kennard-dale gets that first contact. They've been in points.
Elena Ziegler is able to get under that ball and get it up and over the net. A little bit of a low set from Jocelyn Tome. she's able to get under it and hit the tape and have it roll right over to Kennard-dale.
And then on the Kennard-dale side, that's an aggressive swing by Haynes. Just missed it out of bounds to make it 18-4. Go touch, touch, touch. That's a good touch. See, to me as a coach, even though you lose the point, that shows good hustle. I mean, if Gabriella Hutchinson doesn't even touch that second ball, make an effort, you never get anybody even close to getting a third touch on that. So 19-4. Kenna McBride still got her serve roll going there. And we have a net violation by Bosley. And that will give the point to Kennard-dale, and we'll rotate with number 7 coming in for them, Trista Fonts, coming in for Miranda Jermack. Serving will be May Shriver at 4-20. And just slightly in the net. And that makes it 21-4. Substitution on the right will be Kendall McLaughlin coming in, as will Emily Baldoff. And last but not least, this is who? We said this is Jenna, right?
Yes.
Jenna Van Buren coming in.
Yep.
So 3 substitutions all at once. We have Emily Baldorf as our server. And unfortunately, serves in the net.
Hannah Baldoff.
Or Hannah. I'm sorry. Did I say Emily?
Yes.
That's her sister, and yes, I had her as a student, so, forgive me for that. Hopefully Hannah won't be too mad at me. Oh, nice short serve. Taken over on the first contact. And number 2 takes it over. That's a good job by Argaro. And Laney will swing. She'll swing at any ball, and she definitely did that.
That's a great up by number 2 in the front row for Kennard-dale, Madeline Argaro.
Yep,
trying to keep the ball alive.
Just to keep something going like that is a tough one. And we're going to have another substitution on this side. And we have Whitridge coming in again for the front row. Good talk. Good, 15. Yep, puts the ball over. That's a good job by Haynes. Aubrey Ziegler using that Wookiee strength of hers and just missing. And then on the overpass, just didn't finish into the court, so that's a hitting error for her. And the score now is 21-7. And we almost had a substitution there.
Good communication from Elena Ziegler as the setter.
Big hole right in the middle there. Right in the middle. That makes it 22-7, and we have some substitutions coming on the Rams side. We have Lillian Jacka coming in again, and we have, again, Riley Cunningham. Riley be in the back, and Jacka in the front row. And on this side, I believe we just switched out on the right side, Jenna Van Buren for McKenna McBride. Good set to the outside. McKenna McBride just out. Just out. Good aggressive swing there. That makes it 8-22 for Spring Grove with Trista Fonts as our server. Ball comes out. McKenna free balls it over. Good talk. Good talk. And an aggressive swing by Autumn Maynor. As a coach, I like that. She's coming up. She's being aggressive. She's swinging. She makes the error, but it's an aggressive error, and I can deal with those kind of things. On the right, we have Savannah Bosley back in for Baldorf. And then on the left, we have coming in Miranda Jermack for Font. Ziegler out again. That would be Aubrey Ziegler. So it's 23-8 with Kendall McLaughlin serving. And right in the net gives Kennard-dale the opportunity to rotate. And their new server now is Madeline Argaro at 9:23. going to drop right over, right to the setter. That's a good serve.
So a good set over here from the outside.
Yeah, it is.
Savannah Bosley.
Bosley being a middle hitter and setting like that. She actually has good hands. I think we might have trained her as a setter last year if we wouldn't have lost the school year with COVID. Oh. That error brings us to match point for the Rockets as Felicity Davis comes in, 24-10 Rockets. And I think we have another, do we have another substitution? Yep. We have Jocelyn Tome coming in for Riley Whitridge, so Jocelyn Tome will be serving match point. And unfortunately, we've seen a lot of net serves in this game for Spring Grove. I think they're not as focused as they should be.
Knowing Coach Ziegler as well as I do, I have a really good feeling tomorrow at practice. He'll be working on serving a lot.
I probably would agree with that.
In situations just like this, she likes to do a lot of situational play. And this is clearly a situation that Spring Grove is struggling with.
Jacko with the serve, and it's into the net. That gives Spring Grove a 25-11 win in Game 2. So in the A game, the varsity game, whatever you want to call it, the 8th grade game, Spring Grove sweeps 25-6, 25-11.
me a lot of myself when I watched her play the other day.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Spring Grove Senior High School, folks. This is Tom Hunt again, along with my partner, Riley Zedek. Riley, how we doing?
Good.
Still
Ready
good?
to see these JV girls play.
All right, so we got a JV match coming up here, and once the starters come on here, we'll make sure we get try to mention as many names as possible. I totally forgot, and are you a Star Wars person at all?
Not even close.
Okay,
I'm
I
sorry.
kind of figured you weren't, but that's okay. But I forgot today's May 4th, which for most people, they love to say, May 4th be with you, as instead of Force 4th. And a little known fact that the first time that was ever used as a comment was with Margaret Thatcher, who, for those of you that don't know, and yes, Riley does not know, well, she does now because we told her, she's the first female Prime Minister of Britain. And so I believe it was her birthday, I think was the story. I have to check with Luca and get that again. I can't remember offhand, but anyway, so we're going to have, again, a best of three with Kennard-dale on the left, Spring Grove on the right. And starting for Kennard-dale, we have Graceland Shrewsbury. It looks like Kaylee Levitt. Is that number one? Yeah, Gracie Miller. Small girl in the middle. We have Emma Miller. And what was I'm missing 16, I think, right? Brianna Lawrence. And maybe one more. 18. Is that an 18, the second one? Or is that 10? That's 10. Brooke Robeson. So there's your starters for the visiting Rams. And in a minute or so here, Riley will get you your Rocket starters.
Starting lineup for the Rockets looks like we have number 21, McKenna Stiles. We have number 8, McKenna Ryland. Number 18, Ella Miller. Number 3, Maddie Silver. Number 24, Ella Tyson. And number 2, Madeline Hale. Madeline Hale is going to be our setter as of right now. Libero switch in, which is number 5, Bryn Brossman.
And you will probably hear me refer to Madeline Hale as Hales because that's her nickname. And to be honest with you, I forgot her first name was Maddie because I'm used to calling her Hales so much. So for Kennard-dale, we have our first server will be Graceland Shrewsbury. And here we go. Good first serve. Drops right in front of the Spring Grove passer. And Kennard-dale's off to a 1-0 start. And that was McKenna Ryland, I believe. And short. Ball under net like that. I worked a volleyball camp one time with a guy who played professionally in Europe. And if you served the ball under the net, you had to bring, get this, pastries for their next coffee break. And yes, that is pro sports with coffee breaks. That's how they do it in Europe. So
I could use a coffee break at some of my tournaments, so it makes sense.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for sure. So good serve to start us off there by, I believe, Hales. Nope, I was wrong. That is Ryland, right? Yep. So it is 2-1 Spring Grove. It's a good, steady serve there. She's getting good distance on it. And again, Kennard-dale with some struggle serve receive right now.
You'll see the JV Spring Grove team is a little more vocal on the court.
Which is actually kind of good, right?
Whereas the varsity team will communicate better when it comes to who's going to play the ball, who's going to set. The JV team all kind of come together a lot better and will get loud way faster.
So that's kind of the excitement part of it, right? Like that's, you get the emotion in there, and it definitely can help you with other parts of your game. So we have a serve here from Emma Miller. Spring Grove keeping the ball alive. That's a good pass. And a swing. I like that swing by 16. That's Brianna Lawrence, but she misses it, and it is Spring Grove with the side out and the rotation. And I'm not sure. Let's say. Somebody's messed up here. Here we go. So we got to get our. So that the person, if you're not used to seeing it, the person wearing the different colored shirt is the libero, and she can play for two different people. And a lot of times it's a middle hitter. Oh, Spring Grove not ready for the first ball coming, or the second ball coming over. So Kennard-dale gets the ball back, and it is 4-3. Now libero coming back in, and that libero is Bryn Brossman. On the Kennard-dale side, we have a serve from Kaylee Levitt, and dump in by, I believe, was that Hales?
Hales, yep.
Yep, and we have Spring Grove now. We have a rotation, a substitution over here. And we have Alexis March coming in. She will be serving. Spring Grove up 5-3. Overpass, that's a nice ball. Oh, good try by Sliver, right? No, Styles. No, Sliver. I want to say Silver. So we have substitution here on Kennard-dale side, 11 coming in. That's Molly Jones. And then coming in is Journey Austin. She's coming in for Graceland Shrewsbury. And I believe Jones will be the server. Yes, she is. Good high ball just over the net. Oh, I don't think Hales realized it, that she went right into the net when she turned. She got it with her elbow. That makes it 5-5. Short ball, nice pass. Good aggressive swing by 21. We like to see that. That's McKenna Styles. I always try to preach, especially with younger kids, to stay aggressive, because if you stay aggressive now, you'll be aggressive later when it really pays off. And we have a really good jump floater there by Maddie Sliver. She looks like she gets kind of into it a little bit, doesn't she?
We have a new coach. I've been waiting to say this. A new JV coach this year, actually. Her name is Autumn Lease. I played volleyball with her. She graduated a few years ahead of me. Her older sister, her younger sister is Aubrey Lease. She is a senior this year. But Autumn decided to come back this year and help coach JV. I know last year their coach was Coach Allie. But Autumn came this year, and they were able to get her in. And I've talked to her about it, and she seems to love these girls. So she's having a great time working with them.
And isn't it always good to see kids come back and help in programs that they were part of?
It's kind of funny to me too, because there's a lot of girls on the JV team that I've actually been in camps with when I was younger, and seeing them now playing the same sport that I've also taken on is crazy in a sense, to kind of see the
Makes
girls.
you feel a
growing
little
up
old,
the same
maybe?
way. Yeah, just a little bit. Feel like I'm growing up a little too fast.
So that's timeout for Spring Grove there. Score is 7-7. I think it looks, you can see that Spring Grove and Kennard-dale are probably about even when it comes to the non-serving skills in this match. Right now, Kennard-dale's serving some underhand balls that are just barely making it over, so you got to really be aware of that. And I tell you that's served by Sliver. If she ever gets on a roll, that could be a dangerous weapon. So it's 7-7. We have serving for the Rams, number 1, Gracie Miller. And serves it out of bounds. And that will give Spring Grove the lead at 8-7. And they will rotate. And our server now will be McKenna Styles. Oh, no, it will not. So there's our substitution with the libero. Libero may libero may serve for one player, and you get to choose who it is. So that serve was in the net. The score is now 8-8. And going back to serve is Brooke Robeson for the Rams. Good underhand serve, drops right in. That's a good set by Hales there, but two people weren't sure who should take it.
You see Maddie Sliver, number 3 on Spring Grove side. She's very consistent with her passing. That is something I've noticed watching her play this season.
Yeah, that's pretty good, and that's a really good dump by Hales there, using her left hand to take it over. That makes it 9-9. Oh, just long. Serve was just long there by Hales. So we have substitutions on the Kennard-dale side. 24 for 4 on this side. So that's Graceland Shrewsbury coming in. And 16, Brianna Lawrence coming in. Coming out in that situation were Journey Austin and Molly Jones. Serving now is Graceland Shrewsbury. It's a good serve right at the setter. That's a hard thing. The setter's got to clear that area and let the other people pass because she's got to get to the net. So Kennard-dale's up 11-9. And a short little serve there. Spring Grove can't handle it, and that makes Kennard-dale 12-9. Leading the way. Still on the service line is Graceland Shrewsbury.
You can see their coach, Coach Autumn, getting a little upset with their lack of communication because she knows that they can do better.
Yeah, she was telling me that the last couple matches they had played really, really well and really solidly, and they look like they've kind of come back a little bit. And now she's getting McKenna Ryland back there. I'll tell you, that is one of the nice things now. You can move around the coach. Used to be you had to stay on the bench, but now you can move around, and that means you can actually get up and coach. Oh, good second contact. Getting the ball out of the net by Kaylee Levitt, but it falls, so that cuts the Ram lead to 11-13. Still Ryland serving for the Rockets. Oh, go, go. Oh, that's the rough one there. You got 3 people that make a move, and then everybody stops thinking the other one's going to touch it.
McKenna Ryland, you can see when she's serving, it's very low effort. It's just kind of ball up and over. It's just like it comes naturally to her, and that's something that's really good to have when you're serving. For
sure, and that hits a nice spot where the front row person doesn't know whether to take it with their hands, so they duck, and if they duck, the person behind them's not ready. That's why we try to teach our kids to open up so the passer behind you can see the ball and you aren't cutting her off. Oh, off her foot. Now, that ball pops up. It's legal, right?
It is. Funny story, actually. I've done the same exact thing in a volleyball game. I'm pretty sure it was 7th grade year. I ran off the court because the ball was coming at me, and it hit me right in the thigh and bounced right back to the ground. So plays like that, I just kind of have to laugh at because I've been in the same exact situation. And you think, oh, initially I can't play it, but they changed that rule a few years ago. Now it's like off any body part. Yep. I've seen people do kick like looks like a kick saved by a soccer, and the ball's up and they keep playing. So another short serve. Oh, in the net. So Spring Grove has slipped back in the lead here at 15-13 off of Ryland serving. And I believe now we're going to have, the libero switch. And for Spring Grove, we will have Ella Tyson serving. Drops a nice ball in there. Good first contact by Kennard-dale, but they can't handle it, and it becomes 16-13 Spring Grove.
I feel like maybe a timeout coming on soon. Ooh, under the net. Looked like she rushed that a little bit. You got to kind of take your time. That's one of the nice things in serving is you can pace yourself. But is it 7 seconds you have in high school? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
right?
7 seconds.
Yeah, so you still have to serve within 7, but 7 seconds is a lot of time. Boy, it's pretty amazing how loud you could hear Madison.
Mm-hmm. That's what I said in the beginning. She's a very vocal player. No matter what or how she's feeling mentally, she stays vocal.
And as a coach, I like a 7th grader who's willing to talk nice and loud. Now, yep, there we go. Good spot. Kennard-dale keeping it alive. Oh, it's good touch by Robeson, but couldn't quite get it over. So Spring Grove sides out, gets a 17-15 lead. And we have coming back in as our server would be Alexis Martz. The one thing I like about Spring Grove when you watch, it looks like they're pretty consistent form when it comes to their servers. That's a good thing for when you have this young of kids. That's a good drive, and she's driving the ball well. One of the things we also like from good servers, we try to keep the ball below the antenna, and that ball is definitely below the antenna. That gives the passers less time to get the ball. And 19-16 now with that timeout, or that service error. And so we have on Kennard-dale's side, we have 11 coming in to serve, and that would be Molly Jones. And coming back in also is Journey Austin. And the ball is coming short, but out of bounds. So Spring Grove goes back up 4 at 20-16.
Good communication on that serve, though. You could hear a bunch of the Spring Grove JV girls saying that the ball was out just so that they were aware.
Yeah, the more that say it, the better, because you never know when you're going to have that crazy player that ends up. Whoa. That was out of bounds. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
We haven't seen too many served long like that, have we?
I was at a game last week with them, I believe last Friday, and she served a bunch of jump serves and like that. And coming from a 7th grader, you don't really expect that, but.
For sure. She's got a good arm swing. She contacts it well. And like we said, you don't have too many kids that are talking as much as she is. So we have side out for Spring Grove at 21-17. And we have our libero Brossman back again. Serving. And, hits the top of the net and falls over. So it is now 18-21, Kennard-dale serving, and we have Brooke Robeson serving for the Rams. Good track down there by Hales, and
that's a great
another
free ball
shot.
play.
It's a really good job by Sliver keeping that ball up and hitting it with topspin, so when it went over.
Very good spot. And
So
it's hard, too, whenever you pass a free ball like that back over your head. I know I've done it multiple times where I've passed into the net because of that. So you did a really good job placing it well and getting it over and in.
And there Hales hits the open spot on the serve receive for Kennard-dale. When you look at their setup, the middle of the back row is pretty open. So if you can hit that spot, you're going to score a lot of easy points.
We have another little jump serve here from Hales.
That makes the score 23-18. And that's a timeout to Kennard-dale at now 24-18. I'm sorry, I missed that point. So this will be game point for the Rockets. Once again, some good hustle out of Eric Ziegler, the game manager. Doing a good job of wiping down the ball as well. At least now we don't have to do it as much as we did in the fall. How about it?
We had 4 balls total, but every play we were wiping it down, rolling one to you, rolling it back to Mr. Ziegler. It was just very inconvenient.
Yeah.
Really having to follow the COVID guidelines. But
Now, the good thing is it did kind of get you a little bit ready for college because almost every college uses a 3-ball system
yeah.
where they have 2 balls waiting at all times. And the third ball, then you just knock it to the one side, and the other people pick it up. So we have Maddie Hale looking to finish out the game for Spring Grove here at 24-18. She's had 2 good jump serve, and she throws in her third one. Coming over on 1. I think maybe a little inadvertent play by Gracie Miller there, but it falls on the Spring Grove side to make it 19-24 and get Kennard-dale the ball.
Actually, it looks like Springer was a little confused on who was supposed to be on the court. There are actually 7 girls on the court in the beginning of that play.
That's never good. That's illegal. Even I know that. So coming in for Kennard-dale again are Lawrence, number 16, and Shrewsbury, 24. Shrewsbury back to serve. And that's a real solid serve. Okay, a scramble situation. Good job by Hales. Ball coming over, and it's going to be over. Swing. Oh, we like to see a swing on that ball.
That's a great pass. I'm glad that Sliver got in there to hit that ball. She's been kind of pushing it over all day. And
then Hales went back to her, let her tip the ball over. So Spring Grove captures game 1 at 25-19. So what's your favorite thing about volleyball? Like, what's the thing you like playing the most? Like,
I've been able to play volleyball for so long now and kind of focus rather than just on like skill set wise. It's a very good stress and anxiety reliever for me. Struggling mentally,
that's
always
good.
just been really easy for me to hit the court and just kind of either forget about what's going on or take my anger, sadness, whatever you want to call it, out on that ball.
Right.
So
that's actually one of the things that I try to get, like, as a coach, I try to get kids to think of the gym, whether it's matches or practice, a way to get away from life and just enjoy themselves for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So that's a great attitude to take.
It's a fun sport too. I mean, I'm 5'7" and I'm an outside hitter, so going D1, the dream, obviously is probably not going to work out too good for me. But
not quite that physical specimen for that, but
a little vertically challenged. But it's so fun. It is something that I love to do, and whether I go to college to play collegiately or I'm playing club in college or league, whatever it comes out to be, it is something that I do want to continue. It just becomes such a big part of who I am, and with my sister following in my footsteps, it's just a part of my family at this point as well.
And I like the fact that, to me, volleyball and football are like the 2 ultimate team sports, in that you really can't hide a bad player in either one. You can hide a bad passer, but if that person is not good at any skill, that's going to come back and haunt you. So you can specialize, like you said. You know, there aren't a lot of 5'7" outside hitters at the D1 level, but there's a lot of 5'7" outside hitters at D3 and D2. Like or they play defense at the highest level. Like, to me, there's always a spot for the right size person. You know, basketball, 6'5", 6'6". If you're going to be good at any, or play at a high level, you need that super height or super athleticism.
It has kind of lifted my spirits. So Penn State this year, obviously being a Big Ten school, D1, Russ Rose, everybody knows who he is if you play volleyball. He has a 5'8" outside hitter this year, and she can just jump really high, and she does really well tooling off the block and using their hands, and that is something that he has commended her for this entire season. So seeing that has also made me want to continue, knowing this whole time it's just been like, vertically challenged. But
that's one thing. Russ has never been the kind of guy to go into, I'm just going to do something because everybody else is doing it. He does his own thing. So the starters for Spring Grove for game 2.
We have number 8, McKenna Ryland, number 24, Ella Tyson, number 32, Skyla Wasilewski, number 3, Maddie Sliver out there again. We have the libero in right now, that is Bryn Brossman, and number 2, that is Madeline Hale, back to serve again.
All right, and for Kennard-dale, we have number 3, Aubrey Cowie, number 11, Molly Jones, 24, Gracelyn Shrewsbury, 29, Brenna Harris, 30, Emma Miller, and I am missing number 1, Gracie Miller. And we have Hales back to serve for Spring Grove.
A little bit of a jump serve there. She's getting caught on her second foot, but she's doing well with it.
She's got a good rhythm going. I think it's almost like I want to do a full jump serve, but I'm not quite comfortable with it right now, so I'm just going to kind of do a little bit of one.
She's doing very well, and if it's something that she wants to work on, then she'll get it.
And she's got a good rhythm going, which is, to me, serving is all about rhythm. So Spring Grove up 2-0 early here in game 2, having won 25-19 in the first game. And another good serve makes it 3-0. And that's the spot I was talking about there. When you put the ball where the middle person has to make a move, it's a difficult move for her to make. So then the outside person or the person in the back corner then has to make that move. Oh,
and again.
That's frustrating when you see them make the right move from the start and then back off. Like, that's trust yourself. That's a statement I use a lot when I'm coaching my 14 and unders. Trust yourself. Trust yourself to make plays, and when you start doing that, what happens?
You're able to just come in and play the game. Even as a 17-year-old, I play 17U for club. I play varsity for school, and trusting myself has been one of the biggest things, because when you go out there and you don't have confidence as a hitter, especially for me, I'm not going to get a good kill. I'm not going to be able to block well. I'm not going to hit the ball on the court. But if I go out there with confidence, even if it's not the best hit I've ever had, I'm scoring or I'm finding ways to. It's the same with passing in the back row. If they're able to talk and communicate, they'll be able to pass that ball.
Exactly. That's the part that I wish more female athletes would just have confidence, be comfortable with making mistakes, because this is a game of mistakes. And whoever makes the most ends up, whoever makes the least ends up winning. And talking about mistakes, that missed serve by Hales makes it 5-1, and Kennard-dale is now rotating. And we're going to go substitutions. We have Journey Austin coming in, and she'll be going to the back row. And then coming in, Victoria King in the second game. Or, excuse me, the other substitution. So we have Journey serving. It's good effort. Good effort, just not enough power behind it. And that side out will make it 6-1. And Spring Grove's substitution coming in is again Mart's coming in. And this time she came in for, who was it?
Number 8.
For Ryland. I think that's a different person. Oh! And we gave another serve error right back, making it 6-2. Kennard-dale rotating with now Molly Jones to be the server.
Kennard-dale serving a lot of underhand balls, but they are very aggressive. They've been playing spots well.
Now there's where Spring Grove has to be ready for that.
That's great hustle from the libero over here on Spring Grove side.
But I think a little bit over aggressive there by Sliver. And she ended up being in the net because she went up with one arm. If she doesn't go up with one arm, I think Spring Grove ends up winning that point. So we have Jones again serving at 3-6 for Kennard-dale. And you're right. That's nice, easy underhand, dropping right over. Forces Spring Grove to play, and that's what you got to do. Make them play the game. That's a hard move to make if you're moving forward like that. That gives Spring Grove point number 7, I believe. Yep, and makes it 7-3. Going back to serve is Ella Tyson. That's good first contact. Ah, there we go. There's a block by Sliver. I think she's probably been waiting for that puppy all match.
You can see Journey Austin on the Kennard-dale side. She has been trying to pass the ball back over on first contact, but when she's doing it, you can tell that she's picking spots that are working well, and some of the balls are going out, but you can tell that she's really trying to get that ball back over and pick good spots, just like she just did.
As you just called it, that ball drops in for Kennard-dale, and we have substitutions on the Kennard-dale side on the left. We're gonna have Brooke Robeson coming in for Graceland Shrewsbury, and then we have Kaylee Levitt coming in for Gracie Miller. So Robeson will be our server at 4-8, Spring Grove. Good call by Sliver. I think they heard that all the way in Hanover. And substitution on the Spring Grove side. Coming out of the game is Wazalewski, but coming in to serve is Miller, right?
Miller.
It's good contact, just hit it too low. All right, on the Kennard-dale side, on the left, we have coming in 29. That's Brenna Harris. She'll be our server. And then we have Aubrey Cowie coming in the front row for Austin. Score is 9-5. That's a good pass. Looks like Hales is going to be aggressive here, and that's probably a good move for Spring Grove if you don't have people who are hitters who are comfortable. Okay. And substitution coming back in for Spring Grove is Ryland.
We have a jump serve probably coming here from the back from Sliver.
Sliver going with the jump serve. We like that. That's a good floater.
She loves that jump serve.
And that spot, that's the hardest spot right there. You just, in that setup on serve receive, that person in front, like right now, number 10, that would be Robeson, probably could play it with her hands, but if it gets behind her, that it's going off the end of the court. So, finished outside the court, and that's where the ball went. So we have Miller serving for Kennard-dale and under the net, making it 6-12. Excuse me, 12-6, Spring Grove. And we have our libero switch. So Brossman is serving at 12-6, Spring Grove. Boy, it's just kind of coming off the arm there a little bit, isn't it? Kennard-dale now subbing Miller, number 1, in for Levitt. And then 24, Graceland Shrewsbury coming in for Brooke Robeson.
Good aggressive underhand serve.
Dropped it right on that 10-foot line. And there's a good swing. That's a good aggressive swing by Stiles. Oh, no, that's Tyson, right? Yeah, Tyson, 24. She just has to stay behind the ball a little more.
And a great pass from our libero.
Really good. And there's a shocker. Hales says you're going to give me a ball high up on the net. I'm going to take it over and score.
Hales has been working those tips all night.
If they're not going to cover it, you score. Keep doing it till they cover. So in again is Wazalewski for Spring Grove. Hales back to serve.
And another great spot.
I'll try not to beat the dead horse there on the big open spot on the back there, but that is where if I was telling my servers, I'd say serve right in the middle of the court.
I've actually never seen defense being played like this.
The serve receive, it's an old style serve receive.
Like the dice. That's just what I can think of is the 5 side of a die.
Oh, it does look a 5-side, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So there, what you had was the Kennard-dale receiver did try to use her hands, which on that ball you want to do, and she just didn't get behind the ball enough. So that's another point for Styles. So that, or for Spring Grove. So that makes it 15-8. And that serve, or that pass, I should say, goes a little errant by Cowie, making it 16-8. I'm not sure. It looks like Hales is almost as far back as you can go when she starts, isn't she?
Yeah.
She is way back there.
Well, it worked for her, and I can tell that she actually moved back from when she served earlier and served the ball out.
Out, yep.
So she's made the adjustment. She's made the move so that it doesn't happen again for her.
And
That
actually,
is a great
yep,
serve.
I like that because then you can really swing hard, and as long as you can control the ball, it's a pretty easy.
Hales had a
ball
little
control.
topspin on that ball.
So that makes it 18-8. Spring Grove leading game 2, having captured game 1, 25-19. And that ball was, I don't know, you think that was going out? Looked like it could have been close.
Most of her balls that have come to this side look like they have been out, but the girls have been playing them, and at that point it's just kind of somebody else has to go for the ball if they want to continue to get them up.
And there goes Mr. Ziegler again, which I believe, I think he might have some contraband in that back pocket, so we may have to check that out later. Doing his job like that. So at this point, Spring Grove, I think, looks like they settled down a little bit. And now they seem like they're in much better mood.
They seem to have been playing like my club team kind of does. First game, we kind of roll in like, whatever, and then we tend to pick it up, which isn't really the best way to play a sport at all, but
it is not.
seems to work out for us most times. And that's what you can see Spring Grove doing here right now. They're kind of picking it up here in the second set. And a great spot from Hales. Oh,
and that
right
goes over. And you said something about you have a name for a ball that gets really close to the net on your team?
There were a few actually during the varsity game with Savannah Bosley going up, and even with Sliver
on a couple of those, right?
On JV. When balls get super tight onto the net at my club practices, they always say they'd rather us not get hurt before we're going to play in a tournament. So if a ball is tight like that, we will actually scream pineapple at practice, and we won't play the ball.
That's an interesting. I like that. I yell no.
I couldn't tell you where it came from.
Yeah, I know. That's interesting.
It was out of nowhere last year with my club coaches, and we were like, what about pineapple? And it's something that we obviously wouldn't say at a tournament. We're going to go for everything, but at practices, you are pineapple, and we don't go up because we don't want to hurt each other.
That's actually, I like that because it's so different that you guys recognize it right away, and you've done it enough. And I just yell no.
I believe
really
we didn't pick no is because it sounds like go, which are the sets that I run with my setter.
Right.
So it was just, didn't want to confuse anybody. And pineapple's really far away from any other word, so.
And actually, on my team, we don't use no. We say yes. We use yes or no. We don't use the word go. So it's either yes or no, and that way the kids know yes means play it, no means no.
Yep.
So if I say no in a match like that or in a game, they'll know that I mean don't do whatever you're about to do. And we have Martz coming off the bench again for another point to make the score of Spring Grove 21-10. Another good serve. Again, this is the second team for Kennard-dale, when they've been able to get the first ball up, has been able to play legit volleyball. They just have to get that first ball up. Like, there it is.
And that's
Oh.
a great spot on that overpass from number 24.
Right between two people that weren't quite ready or sure whether they should play it or not. So that's 22-11. And we have Molly Jones back to serve for Kennard-dale.
Great talk from Sliver again, out here to swing.
Nice set and a great swing. She's under the ball, but that's a great aggressive swing. That's the kind of error that you like to see a 7th grader making.
Yeah. I would love to see a girl stay aggressive rather than push a ball or free ball over the net, especially at this age.
That's safe. Safe doesn't get you anywhere when you're older. Another good pass. Now she got to set her again. Good, good. Now that took a little bit off on that one.
And great up from number 30
Yep.
in Kennard-dale.
Kennard-dale keeping the ball alive.
And the ball's tight. That's a pineapple.
Pineapple. Pineapple, right?
That's a pineapple right there, yep.
Spring Grove scores that point, makes it 23-12. As Tyson goes back to serve.
Nice and easy right over and then no
Nice
effort.
easy pass. See, Kennard-dale again, that first contact. They do some good stuff with that first contact. I think Hales realized too late that she should have been running after that ball. So we have substitutions on the Kennard-dale side on the left here. We have Robeson coming back in for Shrewsbury, and then Levitt coming in for Gracie Miller. And we'll have Brooke Robeson as our server.
Just short. Hits the tape.
That's one of those that almost hits the top, falls over, and you're like, oh,
There's no chance
unlucky.
that anyone's probably going
Nobody
to get
gets
it. No matter how far up you are, no matter how much you're on your toes, those are the ones that it's
The
very rare
dribblers,
that
as we like to
somebody-
call it.
Yep,
Yep.
somebody's going to get it. It's very rare.
So at match point, we had Ella Miller miss that one and make it 24-14. Kennard-dale with substitutions. We have Cowie coming in for Austin, and it's now serving Brenna Harris coming in for King. And the missed serve by Kennard-dale ends the match at 25-14. So a quick recap of the first varsity team, Spring Grove won 25-6, 25-11. And in the second match here, the B or the JV, Spring Grove wins 25-19, 25-14. Thank you all for tuning in. For my partner, Riley Zedek, this is Tom Hunt. You have
Friday to watch the boys volleyball game.